If you're watching this video, you're probably wondering, God, did you really call me to do what I was supposed to be doing? How am I supposed to do what you want me to do? I don't feel like I'm enough. I don't feel like I'm doing enough. I don't feel like I have enough skills, or I have enough strength, or I have enough wisdom to do what you need me to do, God. And I've been there many times, right? I've been in that place where I feel like Moses, where Moses was called by God to lead Israel, but he felt like he had so many things that were wrong with him. He had so many mistakes, so many things that impeded his ability to serve. Like, for example, he had a speech impediment, right? And Moses was like, Lord, I'm slow of tongue. I can't speak properly. I can't do this or do that, Lord. Send somebody else. And I'm sure a lot of you feel that way. And I'm here to tell you that God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. Basically, that means that he doesn't call people that are already perfect, because that's not going to help glorify his name. You see, he uses people that are imperfect, that are flawed, that have character flaws, because that's an opportunity for him to use his might, his power, to showcase that through us. It says, not by might, not by power, but by your spirit. It also says that when I'm weak, you are strong. Your strength is made greatest in my weakness. So when we feel like we have no skills, we must remember that God will qualify us, right? He doesn't expect you to be perfect. He expects you to be faithful. Ooh, let me say that one more time for you guys. He doesn't expect us to be perfect. He expects us to be faithful. God wants us to be faithful to our assignment, because that is how we can grow into the person we need to be. That is how we can continue to be used by the Lord. He doesn't need you to have everything figured out. You just have to trust in the Lord with all your heart and not on your own understanding. And that's been one of the most difficult things for me to do recently. I'll be honest with you guys. It's been hard to trust in God that he'll equip me, because I've been so used to looking at my own self, my own abilities, and the things I can do myself, right? And it's hard to place that trust in God sometimes. But I must remember, and you guys must remember this as well, that take it one step at a time, and the Lord will lead each step. You see, he says, my word is a lamp at your feet, not a headlight to your path. Meaning that a lamp only lights just enough so you can see the next step. He didn't give you a whole headlight so you could see the whole journey across. Because if you knew what you had to go through to become the person God made you to be, you wouldn't even want to go through that process. So God has given you just enough so that you can see right in front of you, so that you can trust in him and develop your trust in him, so that he can lead your path. But you've been trying to take your own steps. You've been trying to do things yourself because you don't want to trust in God. And I'm honestly partly speaking to myself as well. Sometimes I try to take matters into my own hands, because sometimes it's hard to trust God, I'll be honest. And sometimes we feel like we have to have it all figured out. But that is far from the truth, because when Moses was in the situation with Pharaoh, all he said was pick up your staff and throw it on the ground. And he did that. He was faithful. That's all he said. He didn't have to do any magic, anything like that. He just had to obey the Lord. And obedience is better than sacrifice. So when we obey the Lord, when we're faithful to our calling, then we can be used by God in a big way. Like, for example, when Moses was splitting the Red Sea, he didn't do it himself. All he did was lift his arm with the staff in it, and God did the rest. All God wants you to do is obey him and trust him to do the rest. All he wants you to do is take that first step. When Joshua was entering the promised land, and the priests were holding the Ark of the Covenant, and they had to step into the river first before the water would part, right? They had to take the first step, but all they did was move forward in faith. And when they moved forward, when they took that initiative to go forward in faith, then God acted. So God is calling you today to take that first step, to do what you need to do, to start that business, to write that book, whatever it may be, right? To start the community, to text that person that may be going through a tough situation, right? He's calling you to step out in faith, and he will do the rest. He's not calling you to bring the harvest. He's calling you to plant the seed, all right? But with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was very impactful for me, and if it was impactful for you, You guys can support this ministry by copying the Peace Over Problems merch down below. And also, if you want a community of Christians that can help you get closer to God for free, join the community down below in the top link of the description. But with that said, peace out, y'all.